how I feel about this book, to be honest. I don't think I like it. The past few lit fics I just have not enjoyed. It's like a hug in a cup. Hi everyone, it's me. Okay, let's sit down. In today's video, we are going to be attempting to make a little dent in my TBR. Not my virtual Goodreads TBR, because that just is never ending and always growing, but my physical TBR, or like the books that I currently own, because I just keep adding books to my physical TBR. I need to stop because I have so many books to read. But you know, I just see a book and it gets me excited. I just need it. So we're gonna do a week of reading in my life as a 9-to-5 full-time worker. And I'm just gonna show you like realistically how much I read in a week while we try and make my way through my huge TBR. So this week I am going to focus on physical books that I already own and then also Kindle books that I already own. I'm not gonna include anything from like Prime reading or like, you know, stuff like that. I'm just gonna try and read things that I've had for a long time. So I'm gonna show you what I have on my TBR, okay? All right, starting with the top rack on my shelf, we have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lin Tan. Look how beautiful this book is also. Stolen Heir, which I want to start because the second book in this duology comes out next month, so I need to read this. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Yes, I know, I did listen to a bunch of you that said I should start with Mistborn if I want to get into Brandon Sanderson. So I did purchase it, but I have not read it yet. Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco, Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab, which I actually can read now because I just finished the Shades of Magic trilogy, so I'm like cleared to read this whenever I'm ready. The Vicious duology, both of these by V.E. Schwab, I have not read. Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzong, What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez, Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson, although I do think now, because a lot of you said read Mistborn first, I'm gonna hold on this. I've read all these. Good. Down here, I don't think this is actually that bad. I've read everything up here. I think it's just You'd Be Home Now by Kathleen Glasgow, Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, Quiet Tenant by Clemence Miquelon, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I have read Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. I don't know why that's in this pile, but I've not read this little book down here, I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. And I have owned this book for almost a year now. I think I bought it like last year in January, February. It's just been so long. It's been almost a year. This book is almost having a birthday on my shelf. So I am needing to get to that at some point, and then let's just look at what I have on my Kindle, okay? Okay, so these two books are on Prime Reading, so I'm not counting those. I have the Dance of Thieves duology by Mary E. Pearson. I actually do want the physical copies of these books because they're so pretty, but I got the duology for like $4 or $5 on a Stuff Your Kindle day, so I have them on Kindle, and if I start reading the books and end up really liking them, I think I'm going to get the physical, but only if I love them. Wayward by Amelia Hart, The Coven by Harper L. Woods. This is an arc that I actually started reading yesterday. The Queen of Roses by Briar Boylan. I think that's also an arc as well, actually. Oh, and I have First Lie Wins by Ashley Elstow. I'm really excited to get into that as well. It's not so bad on my Kindle. A lot of these are Prime Reading, so I feel like technically those are not on like the TBR of books that I own because I don't technically own those books. I did start, as I mentioned, The Coven by Harper L. Woods last night because I really do want to get through my arc list. I think I'm around like 22% in, so that's the book we're starting with. Before we start reading, I just want to have a little chat. So a couple of videos ago in my New Year's vlog, I mentioned that the start of the new year can be very, very stressful for me. And I have previously talked about some of the ways that I make the stress easier for myself to handle. But I feel like there's always just gonna be that pressure to start the new year in a positive, productive way. And like, to be honest, I'm kind of stressing out about my reading goal this year, even though it seems like I'm on track. I think something that definitely does help with stress is therapy. And so I just want to take a second to talk about BetterHelp, who is the sponsor of today's video. I have been using them since 2021 and have just gotten such great experiences from using this service. If you don't know what BetterHelp is, it is an online therapy service that really makes starting therapy a lot easier and less intimidating, because you can really pick and choose which format you want to like do your therapy in, whether or not you want to do phone calls with your therapist, video calls, or even like live text messages. You can choose which method you find the most comfortable for yourself, and I feel like this is just such a game changer. I personally have done sessions in all 3 modes just to try them all, and I honestly love them all. It just really depends on what mood I'm feeling. I really thought they were all effective. It just, yeah, it depended like how in the mood I felt like to talk to someone face to face, or if I just wanted to like hide and like text someone invisible, you know? So I do love that BetterHelp offers that as an option. It's also really, really easy to get started with BetterHelp. All you have to do is fill in an online questionnaire that asks you what challenges you've been going through and also what you would prefer in a therapist. You then get matched with a therapist in most cases within 48 hours, and then you can just start scheduling therapy sessions at times that are the most convenient for you. There are over 30,000 licensed therapists in the BetterHelp network, which will also give you a wider range of expertise compared to like if you were just looking for therapists in your physical area. And something else that's great is that if you find that you aren't vibing with your therapist that you've been matched with, you can just very easily change your therapist at the click of a button at no additional cost. And I think this is really good because sometimes therapy or like finding the right therapist can kind of be like dating. like a therapist that's a good match for someone else might not be a good match for you. Sometimes with therapists, you really just have to like try a bunch of different ones before you find one that suits you. And so BetterHelp makes this so much easier than with traditional therapy, where you would have to like break up with your current therapist before trying to find another one. BetterHelp just does that all for you. So I love BetterHelp. Definitely check it out and join over 4 million people who have used BetterHelp to start living a happier, healthier life. You can check out my link in the description box or use my link betterhelp.com/JamieFalk. That is BETTERHELP. And that link will get you 10% off your first month of therapy. So thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Let's start reading.
I found an aesthetic for you.
Oh, really?
Bookstore girl.
Well, that's too obvious. Here, show them. Huffy says this is my aesthetic. You're using Sage as a tripod?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, this is a paranormal romance, I think. It's about witches. So I wanted to just share something really, really fun with you. I'm currently exporting a video. I hope you can't like hear my computer taking off like a rocket ship right now. It's like the fan is going insane right now. So as you guys know, I did get a Kindle recently. So I've been starting to kind of like mix read. Like sometimes I'll read physical books, sometimes I'll read on my Kindle. But something I really do love about the Kindle, and there are a lot of things I am starting to love about the Kindle that I never thought of. So I might make like a Kindle specific video at some point, maybe like once I've used it a bit more and tried like Prime Reading, maybe Kindle Unlimited, etc. But something really fun is, first of all, it's very easy to read on the Kindle. I feel like I read so fast on it. But the second thing is, if you're out, for example, like I just went out and got my hair done. If you didn't notice, I just got it cut a little, is that you can use the Kindle app on your phone to also read books. And like for me, it's not ideal. I would prefer to not be like reading on my phone. It's just a little harder on your eyes. But in a pinch, for example, I didn't bring my Kindle to my appointment, but then I realized I had my phone with the Kindle app and you can read on it. And the good thing about it is that it does like save your spot. So I was able to just open the book on my phone and it found exactly what page I was on my Kindle. And then yeah, I was just able to read on my phone, which was very cool. And I feel like this is going to be a game changer because as a reader who also has a 9-to-5 job and a side job doing YouTube, sometimes it's hard to find like a good solid chunk of time to read. And I find myself reading a lot in like little smaller increments throughout the day. Like if I have a 15-minute break, I could read for 15 minutes. And I feel like the Kindle and the phone app is kind of a game changer because sometimes I'm like, don't have my Kindle or my book on me, but I'll always have my phone on me. And so I can always just pick it up and read for like 5 minutes, honestly, if I really wanted to. So yeah, I'm really loving it. Good morning. There are so many blankets on the couch right now. This is a whole like spare duvet because we just love being cozy. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm just realizing now I didn't film a lot yesterday because I actually filmed another video. I filmed a tier rank video yesterday and I just spent the rest of the day editing, so I didn't talk to you guys a lot, but it is Sunday. Hopefully I will hang out with you guys a bit more today. Yesterday I read about 110 pages of the Coven. I don't know how I feel about this book, to be honest. I don't think I like it. As I said, it's a paranormal romance. I think it comes out in March, but a lot of people have read the arc. I feel like they just gave everyone the arc of this book for some reason. My voice just cracked. It's essentially about witches. Like, there's a witch school. They've made an alliance with another form of a creature. It's kind of like a demon. They call them vessels, and they seem to be kind of like mixes of demons and vampires. Like, they feed off the witch's blood. And I think the world has potential. Like, it's a pretty fun world to be in, but just the general story and the romance and the two main characters, it's so much for me. It's quite smutty as well, and I just feel like the things that they're doing and like the ways they're attracted to each other just don't make sense in my mind. So I don't know if I'm enjoying it, but I'm into it enough that I want to know like how the story progresses, so I'm continuing to read it, but I don't think it's my favorite read. It's kind of a lazy Sunday so far. It's 8:48 a.m. We kind of slept in, but we just ordered some breakfast because it's one of those days. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm hungry, so I can't wait for it to get here.
If only I could finish something.
Oh,
Run straight through
look at all the mushrooms. Oh my gosh.
Close the chapter, dignified.
Oh.
Damn girl, you didn't begin. But will it ever be enough? When I'm bent on trying to keep it tough, will I ever settle down? Happy with the here and now.
I finished it, you guys. I didn't really like it. I feel like we had potential with the world. It was kind of an interesting like political structure, different types of paranormal species interacting with each other, but I just didn't get the romance part like at all. I think this is actually like a dark romance technically, and honestly I had no idea when I received this arc, but I'm realizing now that maybe it's just not the genre for me, but that's okay. This is what the actual title of the book looks like, The Coven. I think I'm gonna give it 2 stars maybe, but that was 123 pages that I read to finish that. Hopefully the next book is a little bit better. 6 out of 100 books. We are 3 books ahead of schedule already, which is so cool. I look so bundled up. I forgot to film while I was out, but I did just go to Starbucks and get a chestnut praline latte. It's like a hug in a cup. We did a bunch of chores this morning. We like meal prepped. What else did I do? I don't know. I did a couple things. And so I decided to go outside and get some fresh air, but it's like freezing outside. It's so cold, but we're back in the safety and warmth of home.
If only I could find a way to put an angel on your shoulder.
For my next read, I've picked up I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman, because I purchased this book almost an entire year ago and it's been sitting on the literal bottom of my TBR for a year. So I feel like it's time we finally check her off the list. This is a dystopian fiction. We are set in a cage underground where 40 women are imprisoned, and these women like don't know how they got there. They like kind of remember who they are, like just very, very vaguely. They don't know the specifics. They don't know why they're in this cage. They don't know how they got there. And yeah, we just follow these 40 women. There's apparently one girl who ends up being the key to hopefully trying to help them escape. Definitely sounds like a very interesting story. This book is very thin, as you can see. It's only like 170 pages long, so I feel like we could just pump this one out. So yeah.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Some love, lonesome love, folding on the lawn chair in all the colors.
Good morning, my friends. I am just getting started into the workday because it is Monday. I read about 50 pages of this yesterday. I didn't actually read that much more. I feel like on days where I finish a book, it's harder for me to just like jump into the next one immediately. So yeah, I didn't really read very much yesterday. I actually ended up playing Hogwarts Legacy again because it's been a while since I have opened that game up, and I felt in the mood to enter the Hogwarts Legacy world again. So yeah, I just kind of relaxed and played games after I did all my chores yesterday. I just read a bit of this in bed yesterday. So I read, yeah, 50 pages. And this is a really interesting book so far. It's definitely out of the usual genre that I am leaning towards lately. Definitely more of a lit fic. And the way this book is written is just very interesting. It's kind of quirky. From the synopsis of this book, it sounds like it would be a very scary book, like a very scary, intense feeling book. We literally have 40 women living in a bunker and they don't know how they got there, right? Like that sounds terrifying, but this book is written in the perspective of the youngest girl in the cage who has no memory of the outside world because she was brought into the cage at such a young age that the cage is all she knows. Like that is her world. She has a lot more of like a curious, inquisitive mind. She's just like asking questions, wondering about things. It's kind of reminding me of, what was that book called? Room? The one that they made a movie adaptation out of with like Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay. It kind of reminds me of that, but like a more grown-up version of it, I guess. It's very interesting so far, out of my comfort zone, but I am really enjoying it. I'm gonna get started on the workday. Hopefully we can squeeze some reading in, like on lunch break or something, but I'll update you guys later.
Quietly protective of my heart to reassure that I couldn't break to pieces and be left alone once more.
Good morning, friends. So I wasn't actually able to read like throughout the workday yesterday. It became a very, very busy day, but I did read basically the entire evening, like after dinner. So I did finish I Who Have Never Known Men. That was another 122 pages to finish this. I gave this book 4 stars. I thought there was some very interesting reflection in this book. It's actually the first literary fiction that I have enjoyed in a long time, which is saying something because the past few lit fics I just have not enjoyed. I thought this one was very interesting, and maybe it's because it was fairly short. I feel like when a lit fic is so long, it gets so monotonous by the end of it, but this was like a more easily digestible lit fic. Not in terms of the subject matter, because the subject matter was pretty like dark and eerie, but the amount of content to take in was a lot friendlier. If you are a plot reader though, and I'm a plot reader, this is definitely not plot driven whatsoever. And I don't know if this is a spoiler. I don't think it is, because it's something that didn't happen. You don't actually ever find out in this book why these women ended up in this bunker. You don't find out who is imprisoning them. You don't find out why they're being imprisoned. You don't find out how they got there. And as someone with like a logical mind, like I need to know these things. So the end left me feeling honestly a little bit left in the dark and a little bit disappointed at the end. But yeah, definitely some interesting points brought up in here. I did have some more time and energy last night to read in bed a little bit. So I picked up my Kindle again and I started reading First Line Wins from Ashley Elston. This is a thriller that just caught my attention because the synopsis of it sounded so intriguing. Haley Pham also endorsed this on Book of the Month, and I read 35 pages of this last night, so just getting into it. But so far it's a pretty fun read. The writing is like very easily consumed. But let me just read you the plot synopsis from Goodreads because I don't know how else to describe this book. Evie Porter has everything a nice southern girl could want. A perfect doting boyfriend, a house with a white picket fence and a garden, a fancy group of friends. The only catch, Evie Porter doesn't exist. The identity comes to Evie Porter by her mysterious boss, Mr. Smith. She learns everything there is to know about the town and the people in it. Then the target, Ryan Sumner. The last piece of the puzzle is the job. Evie isn't privy to Mr. Smith's real identity, but she knows this job will be different. Evie can't make any mistakes, especially after what happened last time, because the one thing she's worked her entire life to keep clean, the one identity she could always go back to, her real identity, just walked right into this town. Evie Porter must stay one step ahead of her past while making sure there's still a future in front of her. The stakes couldn't be higher, but then Evie has always liked a challenge. So essentially we have a main character who is like some sort of a spy or like a secret, she has a secret identity that she's given by her boss and she has a job to carry out. When one day someone, I guess, who is impersonating her appears. I haven't gotten to that part in the book yet, but that's what it sounds like from the synopsis, and that just sounds so fun. That's what I'm currently reading, but not right now because I have to start work again because it's Tuesday. Good morning. I'm on my lunch break. It's Wednesday. Why did I say good morning? It is completely the afternoon. I just finished eating lunch, but it's been a pretty busy few days, like with work and everything. We also just have this whole situation going on in our home where we don't have heat, and it's like the middle of January, the middle of Canadian winter. We're in the negative degrees outside and we don't have heat in our house. So yeah, it's just been kind of like crazy the past few days with like different contractors coming in. We've had like HVAC contractors come in and roofing contractors come in, but like the HVAC person will tell us like, oh no, it's a roofing problem, and then the roofing people will tell us, oh no, it's an HVAC problem. So the roofing people have come twice. The HVAC person has come once, but he has to come again, and we've been heatless since Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is our 6th day without heat, and I'm just constantly wearing like so many layers of sweaters on top of each other to stay warm, and like the cats have just been cuddling us all day, which also helps with heat, but it's been hectic. Anyways, I was able to read a bit yesterday, not as much as I normally do, but I am on page 111 of First Lie Wins, which means I read 76 pages, which is fine. It's decent. I feel like in general I've been reading at least 100 pages a day naturally, but it's just been like hectic. I've just been like bundled up all the time and like busy with work and like trying to figure out things with these contractors, and that's why this week is called a realistic week of reading, because life gets in the way a lot of the time. That's where we're at. Honestly, I was kind of getting bored while reading this yesterday, which I absolutely did not expect, because like the premise of this book is just so like interesting. Maybe it was just the mood I was in, like maybe just because of all the stresses going on around me, I was like not really feeling it. So I don't know, I'm still like obviously going to continue, and I am looking forward to reading more, but I just found myself a little bit bored while I was reading yesterday. But anyways, I'm gonna read. I have like 10 minutes left in my lunch break, so I'm just gonna read a little bit more and then get back to work. Good morning. It's Friday. I didn't film anything yesterday. I'm still in the cold, as you can see. Our heat is not working yet. Oh my gosh, the HVAC people came yesterday, or was it Wednesday? I don't even know anymore. HVAC people came, different HVAC people, and they were like, no, this is a roofing issue. The roofer's messed up. The HVAC person couldn't do anything. We paid him as well. And so now we're waiting for the roofers to get back to us to schedule a time where they can come again. And we can't even find different roofers because where we live, like the complex where we are, there's only one roofing company that is like approved by the board to work on our roofs. And so like at this point we don't even trust this roofing company because they've just like messed up a couple times and like done the wrong thing, but they're our only option at this point. So still in the cold, but I just wanted to give you a reading update because I haven't spoken to you guys in a couple days. I did finish First Lie Wins on my Kindle. I finished it yesterday. Hold on, let me see how many pages I read exactly. On Wednesday, I ended up reading 104 pages, and then yesterday on Thursday, I read 169 pages, and that took me to the end of the book. The good thing is about being cold is all I want to do is wrap up in a blanket and read, so I've been able to just like read a lot in the evenings. Overall, I did think this book was really fun. I know the last time I spoke to you, I mentioned I was like getting bored of the book. I'm wondering if it was just because I was in a bad mood, to be honest, and like I just wasn't, I don't know, I was cold and cranky. But reading the rest of the book, I was still cranky, but I did enjoy the book. I thought it was really good. It was very exciting. I liked how it was different from some of the other thrillers I had read in the past. Like a lot of thrillers tend to be murder mysteries, and this wasn't like that at all. It was very layered, and I liked the whole kind of like spy secret identity thing about it. It was really fun. Honestly, I did predict kind of like how it would end, or I predicted the twist, part of it at least, around like maybe the 60-65% of the way through the book. But even though I knew where we were headed, it was still really fun getting there because all the layers and how everything intertwined and happened was very complex. And so just like the journey getting there was really fun, and the explanation of how things were happening. So I do highly recommend First Light Wins. I rated this a 4-star on Goodreads. I think my only problem with it really was that some of the things that happened were just way too convenient, and I think this happens a lot in thrillers, especially when there's a lot of convoluted, complex like plot lines twisting within each other. Things just have to happen very conveniently to be able to put everything together in a concise way. Some things that happened, I was just like, really? Like you were just right there at that time, or like you just happened to see that or happened to do this, you know? But yeah, it was a really fun journey. So First Light Wins by Ashley Elston. Highly recommend if you're looking for a good thriller that's also not a murder mystery. Like it was something fun and different. And then I needed a book to pick up for the night because I finished First Light Wins in the evening, and I like reading at least like a couple pages before bed, like while I'm in bed. So I picked up Stolen Heir by Holly Black. This is the first book of a duology, kind of like a spin-off from the Cruel Prince series. It takes place in the same world. It follows some of the secondary characters that were in the Cruel Prince. So I really wanted to pick this up because the second book does come out in February. I got 42 pages in last night in bed, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's really fun being back in the world of Elfhame, even though I only left it like last week, I think. I don't know how much reading I'll actually get to during the day, but I'll definitely read more tonight. And then I think today is the last day of our like week of reading together in this video, because I started on Saturday of last week. We'll just see how much I get to tonight, and then that'll be my week of reading. I feel like I need to wear gloves. My hands are so cold.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
It's Saturday, it's still cold. There's a ladder behind me. I'm just gonna give you one last reading update before I end this video. I actually read a lot of this yesterday. Page 284, and I'm like almost done this book already. That means I read like what, 234 pages yesterday. So yeah, very quick read. I'm definitely going through this really fast. I feel like because it is YA, it just reads quicker. Like it's a lot easier to read through, just like the way it's written. I also think because this is a world that I'm familiar with, I'm like familiar with some of the characters already and how the world works, how the magic works. It's just a lot quicker to like get through. Like, you know, when you start a new fantasy book and you get like placed, you get plopped into this new world and you have to like read a bit slower to comprehend everything that's going on around you. I feel like I don't have to do that with the Stolen Heir because I already know Elfhame. I already know like the political system, and I am finding the story quite fun. It's a lot more of like a journey compared to the Cruel Prince, where the Cruel Prince was a lot more about like court politics, public image with being royal and stuff like that. This is much more like a quest, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not going to give a rating yet because I'm not done the book, but I will talk more about it in my end of the month reading wrap up, of course. So we kind of like went through 4 books this week. We didn't finish this one obviously, but I'm gonna do that today probably. So you know what, all in all, that was a pretty good reading week. Even though I thought it wasn't, I feel like I wasn't reading as much as I normally do because I was just so busy and stressed out about things, but I ended up reading more than I thought I did, I guess. That's it for now. I'm gonna leave you here. That's my reading week in my life as someone with a 9-to-5 job and also other stresses going on this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, let me know what you are currently reading right now. If you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!